But first tonight, the mosque rebellion. Mosques are going up everywhere across Adelaide, but in the northern suburbs, there could soon be a sixth built in a 10-kilometre radius. Local residents opposing them deny they're being Islamophobic and say planning and traffic control regulations are simply being overlooked. Here's Rodney Lose.
This is Australia! If you don't like it, leave!
We feel Islam culture, Western culture, there's going to be clashes. Government's not interested in doing anything about it. They just throw it all together, you sort it out.
Mosques are a threat to Australian national security.
I consider it dangerous, yes.
It's a two-storey mosque, and at the back of that there's supposed to be a 1,000-plot cemetery.
This is the planned site for Adelaide's latest religious building, a Shia mosque on Bridge Road, Paraka. But while the Shia Muslim community is excited at the prospect of a new place of worship and 1,000-plot cemetery, the locals aren't.
There's a lot of concerns about it, a lot of negative comments about it. Personally, I don't think it's been thought through very well. I have concerns about the traffic and the possible water contamination from the cemetery.
Councillor Shiralee Reardon says there's been no shortage of complaints, most of them about traffic.
They are concerned that with people coming here 3 times a day for prayers and funeral or their religious ceremonies that they have throughout the year, they could get up to 1,000 people coming, and they're very concerned about the traffic and the parking issues.
We canvassed most of the neighbours of the proposed mosque, and traffic seemed to be the biggest concern, especially for this sand and gravel business, which would have to share this small laneway with visitors to the mosque. But no one would speak on camera for fear of being labelled racist or Islamophobes.
Friday nights, or if there's a social gathering here, maybe during the daytime, you've got both sides of the roads blocked off with traffic. You've got traffic controllers, you've got road speed signs, and I consider that's improper.
Transport worker Ron says the threat is real. Of traffic chaos, that is. Working near this Islamic community centre in Regency Park, he says on a Friday, when it hosts a function, this road is downright dangerous.
The road is towards transport companies, and as you can see, or as you may see, that a lot of heavy transport comes down here, and when you've only got a quarter of a road to travel down, which means travelling in the middle of the road, it's a hazard to the truck driver mainly.
Andy has a recommendation for any town planners.
My suggestion is that they come to this area and check it out for themselves.
But there are those who have cultural concerns as well.
I guess you could say self-explanatory. You know, we are concerned, and obviously the biggest thing, I guess, in South Australia nowadays is the Islamic movement coming in.
Brad Sumbris is the spokesman for Concerned Citizens of South Australia, a conservative lobby group. That is a little different to the norm.
If it goes ahead, within a 10-kilometre radius, that will be the 6th mosque sitting in the northern area that has the capacity of 1,000 people.
With a gay son, Brad says he has a real concern that Islam is simply too conservative and intolerant.
We don't feel we have any conflict with the Islamic community, not at all. But yeah, we are concerned about the amount of mosques going up and at the rate that they're going up, you know. But yeah, like I said, is it a case of just build it and they'll come? Does somebody have plans that they're not telling us? I don't know.
Another concern is the plans would see a fence built along this strip of land, blocking out these businesses. But even more interesting is the plan to build a children's playground here, right in front of this adult shop. Brad says you don't need to work for family services to realise those two don't mix.
There's an adult shop that's been there probably as long as I've been alive, you know, right next to it. They were obviously worried about being the first ones to be targeted, either fair means or foul.
Brad says, though, the real mistrust is not with the Islamic community, it's more with the council.
It's not about, you know, picking on Muslims at all. No, not at all. It's more so how our government is just allowing a lot of stuff to sort of slip in under the radar. And these things, they're not open, they're not transparent.
Leave your mosques and Sharia behind.
In particular, residents feel duped after a mosque was approved at Greenfields. Some groups continue to protest its construction.
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie!
As for the Paraka Mosque, Councillor Reardon says in its current form, the mosque won't be getting her vote.
Not unless there's some changes done to the application. The people seem to be willing to do that, but whether they do or not, we'll wait and see.
It certainly is a divisive one, and we understand some councillors at Salisbury have even received death threats from opponents of the mosque. Rodney Lose with that report, but coming up next...